Hi, and welcome to my stamp studio. I just realized that I was starting to record and I didn't even hit the record button. So this is our second class in our March Madness Trifecta classes, and we are going to be diving into our Resourceful Rusty class. So those of you that I did the early bird special and have your class kit, pull it out now, pull that stamp set out because you got the stamp set with your class. So we are going to dive right into this. This class is also still available to order until March 18th. I cannot put the link to order this class in my social media posts or on YouTube. So what I have is a link for you to contact me to say, send me the information, and I will email all of you that information. That is the only way that I can provide you the way to sign up for that class. It's Stampin' Up's policy. We can't give stamp sets out in classes unless you're on our email list. So I can only email this to you. I can't post it on social media. So with that said, I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to start on our Resourceful Rusty class. Hold on just a moment, please. Okay, so here we are on my desktop. So this is the March Madness Trifecta classes. We had tags of thanks earlier this morning, and now we have our Resourceful Rusty class. This is the tutorial that will be emailed to you. Each of the classes has its own tutorial. I do email those directly to you. That way you can print them or read them on your computer, whatever you like to do best. And it does show you a picture of the card and all the instructions on how to make the card. All the supplies are listed for you in case you need to stock up on your supplies. So with that being said, let's move on to our card here. So actually I'm going to pull in the card kit. So this is the kit that will be sent to you. Now yours will have a pretty little label on there. It will have the name, the date of the class. It'll have the YouTube and the Facebook links. Now keep in mind, Facebook only allows us to have videos for 30 days. So that's why this is also going to be on YouTube for you to watch. So please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like, and there's a little notification bell. If you click that little notification icon in YouTube, it will let you know anytime that I post a video out there. All right, let's check out what's in our kit. So in your kit, you will have your Resourceful Rusty Stamp Set, and isn't it freaking adorable? I just love it. It's so cute. I've been having so much fun with this. You will have your 5 card kits. They're already sorted for you. Everything's cut, die cut, embossed if there's any embossing. It's all sorted, so all you have to do is just lift up your envelope. Your envelopes are numbered. They're numbered in the lower right corner, so it'll have just a little pencil so you can erase that. But all of them are numbered, all of them are sorted for you. So don't take everything out of the envelopes, just leave them in their envelopes and make the cards as you go along. You also have a yard of your linen thread. And I'm going to just share with you the colors and everything that we're going to be using. In this class, we are using our blends. So, but if you don't have blends, you have watercolor pencils, prefer to use those, feel free. I'm using our black Memento ink because I am using the following blends. Old Olive, Poppy Parade, and each of the blends come in a pack of 2. Cajun Craze, Smoky Slate, and our basic black. I know there's quite a few colors here, but we can make some really fun things with this stamp set. These little critters are so cute. You can make a red panda, you can make a raccoon, you can make a skunk, oh, and a fox. And we'll be making all of those in this kit. All right, so I'm going to move those all off to the side so they're not in our way. And the other stamp pad that you will need is going to be Cajun Craze. I had forgotten to add that on there. So it's the 2 stamp pads you need are Cajun Craze and Tuxedo Black, Memento Black. All right, so let's pull in our first kit. I'm going to show you the cards, and then I will show you how to make them. Now, I am also bringing in my neutral matte dots. This is something that you can order from my online store, or if you like, I do have an embellishment kit that's available to add on to your class. And yeah, you can check it out. The registration, actually, I can't post that registration link online. If you're on my email list, you will have gotten that registration link, so you can go and check it out. If you'd like information and would like to register for this class and order this class by March 18th, just go ahead, and there is a link in the description and in the YouTube description, I'll put it in the comments as well, that you can click on and go ahead and fill out that form. That form gets sent to me, and it tells me that you want me to email the registration to you. So that way you can order the class. All right, so let's pull in our first one here. So now, like I said, I've done all this die cutting for you. Everything is done except for your stamping and assembly, okay? So we have our piece of basic gray. Oh, I was going to show you the card. Here is the card that we're going to be making. Isn't it cute? A little skunk. All right, so we've got our basic gray. We have another piece of basic gray that we're going to be embossing ourselves. We've got a piece of basic white for the inside of your card. We've got our smoky slate rectangle. This is die cut for you, so you can see the die cut edges. This is already done for you, as well as our piece of Poppy Parade and our basic white square using our stylish shaped dies. These rectangles in this class are a new die. It's in the Textured Notes bundle, and it's called Texture Note Dies. They are some awesome rectangles. Look at those patterns. They're amazing. So we've used this in quite a few of the cards for this class. So there are 5 cards, and they're lots of fun. And then you have a 1/2-inch strip for your sentiment. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to move some of these things off to the side. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, in the directions it tells you, just to fold your cardstock in half. So you'll be doing that. Then with this piece, I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored tool. Now, if you don't have the Simply Scored tool, you can easily use your trimmer scoring blade and do this. All right. And I'm going to put this on the 4-inch side here. And we're going to go ahead and grab our scoring tool. And I am going to score at every 1/2-inch mark. So I'm going to score here. Oops, that wasn't 1/2-inch. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see on my screen here. All right. So we're going to do every 1/2-inch here. I'll just have an extra one in there. All right. So we've got our 1/2-inch score marks there. Go ahead and move this out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this to my card front using my dimensionals. So let's grab our dimensionals here and add that right to the front. I need to grab my bone folder and flatten this down a little bit. Now this will have been folded in half in your card kit because the piece of cardstock is 11-inch, and that's smaller than the bags that I have the classes in, so I've already scored that for you. Hey, it's one less thing for you to do. All right, so I'm going to take this, make sure you have your opening on the right side, and just go ahead and put that right on the card front. There we go. Card base is all ready to go. We're going to move that off to the side, and we're going to do our stamping now. I'm going to bring in my smoky slate here, and I just need to grab a piece of scrap paper. There we go. I'm going to grab my black Memento ink, and then I am going to pull in my little plaid stamp here. I've been having so much fun, I actually forgot to put my label on that one. All right, well, that's okay. It'll still stamp without the label. All right, so let's go ahead and ink this up. And we're just going to randomly start stamping. Oopsie. Got that way too inky. We're going to flip it over. It happens. I was pushing down really hard on my stamp. So, yeah, just don't push too hard. I just re-inked my pads and, all right. There we go, that's a little better. All right, so just randomly start stamping. all over. Oh, that really didn't get on there. There we go. And I'm just going to cover that up and clean this off real quick. All right. I need to actually move something from the side of my desk here. Oh, there we go. Okay. I want to get that out of the way so I didn't have so much clutter on my desktop here. All right, let's grab our stamp set again. Where did I put it? Here it is. And I'm going to grab our little skunk here. Well, it's actually not a skunk. It is a little fox, but you can make it a little skunk. So he's eating a whole bunch of apples. And then I'm also going to grab this other one that has the 2 little apples. So we're going to be stamping that as well. And then my sentiment, you can do it. All right. So let's grab our little skunk here. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. It's kind of distracting. All right, we're going to bring in our, you know what, I'm going to do it like the directions tell you to do it. I tell you to do it in layers, so we're going to follow the directions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this right to our card front, over to the left. All right. Next, I have my piece of Poppy Parade here. I'm going to adhere this to my card front. All right. And then I'm going to move this off to the side. All right, let's get our stamp going here. And I'm just going to take a moment. My desktop is really high right now. I'm going to just lower it so I can sit down while we're doing the video. I know you couldn't see it going up and down, but I had to be able to sit. It's been a long morning already. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to stamp this in Memento Black. Make sure I didn't get too much ink on it. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right in the center of my square. Okay, let's clean this one off. And we're going to start coloring our little skunk here. So we are going to bring in our basic black blends here. I'm actually just going to use my light basic black. And I'm going to take my chisel side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start on my tail here. So I'm just going to kind of go around like this. And now I'm going to come back in and just kind of make some, like, I don't know, squiggle marks, okay? That way it looks more like a skunk. I'm going to do my little right here. I'm going to just leave this all white. I'm going to color his ear. Yeah, part of his eye is hidden, but that's okay. We're just going to come straight down over the eye. All right, and now I'm just going to color this all in my basic black. We'll leave his little belly white. And look at here. His other little arms right over there. Get his little foot. All right. So there's our little skunk. Now I'm going to come in and color my apples here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my dark Poppy Parade. And we'll color the apples in. I'll come back and bring my old olive in and color my leaves. And I'm not really using multiple colors to blend. So if you don't have blending pens, what you can do is you can use your markers. Just make sure that you use StazOn ink instead of black memento. Okay, so I use my old olive, my light old olive, to color the leaves. I also want to give him a little base so it doesn't look like he's floating in the air. So I'm going to just go ahead and go around like that. Make him look like he's walking on the grass. All right. Now, remember I said we're going to use these two little apples here. So what I'm going to do, now, if you're not sure that, you know, if you, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're a little challenged with sometimes over inking too far, like getting it more on there than you need, what you can actually do, like I have some ink here. I don't want to stamp and get that ink on there. What you can do is you can take some Scotch tape and just put it over the part that you don't want inked. So let me just clean the ink off here since I made kind of a mess. All right. I do this technique quite a bit. So I'm just going to tape over this area here. I'm going to go ahead and ink my stamp up. I'm going to pull off that tape. I'm going to throw it away. And now I can come back here and I can stamp my apples. And I don't have to worry about ink getting anywhere else. So let's color our apples in. This time I'm going to put a little bit of my dark right here. And then I'll come back in with my light. Again, you don't necessarily have to do blending. I mean, this is kind of a small area. It just adds a little bit of depth and dimension to your stamped image there. And I'll come back in with my, this time I'm going to use my dark garden green for my leaves. Not garden green, old olive. All right, there we go. Okay, now the last thing that we have to stamp is going to be our sentiment. So we'll go ahead and bring in our sentiment here. Pick it up with our block. And just stamp it right on there. Now, your little strip is longer than you need. I just need to bring it down so I can see where I'm stamping here. Okay. Don't worry if it's not perfectly straight because you're going to trim it down a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring in our snips. I'm just going to trim it down. There we go, just like that. Throw those pieces away. All right, let's bring back in our card front. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right to the card front. Just like so. I'm going to bring in my mini dimensionals, or actually, you know what, I have a little strip here from my dimensional sheet that I can add right on there. Because you can use every single bit of your dimensionals. And we're just going to put that on there. And I'm going to take some of my little, I'm just going to use my roll since I already have this one prepped up for someone. I'm just going to use some of this here. I just want to measure to make sure I have a yard so I'm not going over what I've given you. 2 and 3. Okay. All right, so I have a yard of my linen thread here. I'm just going to make a little bow. So notice how curly this is. So sometimes it's really hard to work when it's curly like that. So I just take my thumb and I just pull along that and kind of straighten some of that curl out. So I'm just going to make a quick little bow here. Just like so. And we'll leave the tails a little longer. I'm going to come in with a glue dot and just kind of roll that glue dot into like a little glue log there. Put it on the back of my bow. And now just put the bow on my card front. All right, now to step up my card, I want to go ahead and bring in my dots here. And I'm going to go ahead and use, in the tutorial it shows using the white ones, but you can use whichever ones you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and color 2 of these using my dark, excuse me, my dark Poppy Parade. I'm just going all around. If you use your brush tip, you can. Just be careful that you don't break down your tip too much. All right. So I just need to give that a moment to dry. These dry very quickly, so I don't have to wait long. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and bring in, put on my black one. So I'm going to be using black and red on this one. So we'll go ahead and grab this one. Put that one there. Grab a little small one. Oh, my little putty here is not wanting to play nice. I think I need to pull a little bit more out. All right, one over here. And I'll add another large one. Come on, pick up. Down here somewhere. Let's see. We'll just do it. We'll do it right there. Okay. These should be dry now, so I'll pick it up and put one here. And we're going to put the other one right over here. Okay. So that is our first card. Let's actually stamp something on the inside here. I'm just going to clean that real quick. And I am just going to take, you know what, we're going to take our little skunk. And we'll just bring back this in. And we'll just stamp him right back down here. We'll color the apples. We'll color him in again. Excuse me, I don't know what my voice is going here. All right. Come back in with our basic black. Again, I'm just going to go right down there. The basic black allows you, the light basic black allows you to still see some of the lines from the Memento black ink. So you can actually, when you're looking at it, you can still see the eye. Okay. And again, we'll do the tail the same way we did before. And kind of give it some jagged edges here so it looks more like fur. Okay, there we go. Flip it over, put some adhesive on, and add it to the inside of our card. So card 1 is done. There we go. What do you think? It's so cute. Okay, so now with this class, you already have 5 ideas right off the bat that you can get started with on using this stamp set. Okay, we'll clean that one off. Move this out of the way, and we'll get to our next card. So this is our next card. Oops. So grab your envelope number 2, and I've already done the die cutting for you. I've already done the embossing for you. You just need to stamp, color, and assemble. So let's grab number 2. So here it is. Make sure you dump everything out because there's all sorts of pieces in there. So we've got our rectangle here, which is from our textured notes rectangles, which I showed you before. Love this. I love this dies. These are my next go-to dies. So I've done that die cutting. This is going to be your sentiment. This piece is from our Sweet Autumn DSP. So you can use either side, whichever side you want. I just thought it was kind of odd with the animals in different directions, so I went with the leaves. I've already gone ahead and embossed your basic white cardstock here using our new corrugated embossing folder. It is awesome. I am going to use my liquid glue because I feel like liquid glue tends to grab hold of these deeply embossed pieces better than seal does, or mono adhesive, or, you know, double-sided adhesive, whatever you use. Okay, so we're just going to put that right on the front just like that. We're going to take our Sweet Autumn Designer Series paper and put this off to the left side. So again, I'm just going to keep using my liquid glue here only because it'll grab hold of that paper better. All right. Just make sure your trees are going in the right direction. There we go. All right. I like to rub it down just to make sure that glue really holds place. All right. This time we're going to be using our Cajun Craze to do our sentiment. So the sentiment that we're using on this card is, don't give up, you've got this. So there's 3 little encouraging sentiments with this stamp set. But you can definitely use a variety of sentiments if you have other ones in your stash. Ooh, wrong size. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. Okay. For some reason, I thought my camera stopped recording there. Okay. I'm going to be popping this up on dimensionals and putting this on the front of the card. I'm not going to adhere it quite yet because I need to be able to put my circles down and get that all kind of lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 on there. We'll just put it right up there for now. I have my petal pink circle, which I've already punched for you. You've got a stylish shape circle die cut that's already been done for you. We're going to be stamping on this one, and we're going to take that little critter that we just used, and we'll be stamping this in black right onto our circle, and then we'll be coloring that. Okay, and this will fit right in there. That pad is really inky. I gotta be careful when I'm using it. I'm sorry, all of a sudden I just got really stuffy. So I apologize if I kind of sound funny. I don't know what happened there. Okay, I'm gonna pull in my Cajun Craze and my Poppy Parade and my Old Olive. I'm going to get some of these stamps out of the way. So I have so much stuff in the screen here. And we just have the things that we need. Okay, let's start with our light Cajun Craze here. I'm going to do the inside kind of his ear. And I do want to come back and change over to my dark here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to outline areas of him first with the dark. Then I'm going to come back in with my light and I'll blend it all together here. So we'll get his little feet. We'll get his little arm. And then his tail. And I don't have to be precise when I'm doing this because I'm going to bring that blend in and it's going to do the work for me. So now I'm coming back in with my light and taking that dark and pulling it into the white area. Okay, so you can kind of see I'm getting a little dimension there. All right, let's grab our apples. Just going to start off with my light. And this is, like I said, such a small area that if you don't want to blend, you don't have to. I'm going to, just to give my apples a little bit more something to it. All right. And then we'll bring in our dark old olive here and color our leaves. Because I'm going to be putting a linen thread bow right there, I'm not going to worry about making any ground. So let's go ahead and adhere this to our petal pink circle. Pop this up on dimensionals. All right. Put this right here. Now, originally last week, Stampin' Up! Had told us that they'd be they'd be retiring thick white cardstock. Let me tell you, there was enough demonstrators that told Stampin' Up! That is not a good thing to do. So we will continue to have thick white cardstock. Yay! Super excited about that. I just actually ordered a whole bunch because it came back in stock. All right, so there we go. And let's grab that linen thread. Our card is almost done here. I'm not going to stamp the inside and color it because the blends have a tendency to kind of bleed through papers, and that is just natural. It's just part of, you know, the type of ink that it is. So I'm not going to be putting stuff on the inside. All right, so I've got my nice little bow here. Trim this side down just a little bit. All right. Again, we're going to bring in our glue dots, make our little glue log. And I'm going to put it right on here, just like that. Put my bow right there, kind of wiggle it a little bit so that the glue dot grabs hold of the linen thread and that you don't have to worry about it sticking everywhere else. All right, let's add our embellishment. And again, feel free to use whatever embellishment you have. I just really kind of liked how these worked out with this particular one. I'm going to be actually giving it a try to use all different colors, because I mean, like, we have Easter bunnies that are all, you know, pink and blue and whatever colors. I'm going to try and do that with some of these guys. I know you won't see a purple fox running around, but you know what? It's kind of cute. All right, so let's go on to card number 3. So grab your card number 3 kit. Again, everything's die cut for you. Everything is all prepped, ready for you to go. So we have a piece of pecan pie. Let's go ahead and put it in a bone folder. Give that a good press. Shoop, shoop. All right. I'm just getting my sample here next to me. All right. I have a piece of basic white. This is going to be for the inside of your card. We have a piece of, here we go, Cajun Craze, die cut with those textured rectangles. I've got another piece of the Sweet Autumn Designer Series paper. We're going to be putting right there, just like that. In fact, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Wow, it's right here. So I'm just going to center that right on there. Making sure I have my opening going the right way, because my trees are directional here. So just make sure you're putting that down the right way. All right, I've got a hexagon shape from Basic White, and I've got also a little piece of petal pink. We're going to be stamping our sentiment on here and then making our own little banner, and then we'll be stamping our little critter on this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to stamp that don't give up, you got this. I'm going to stamp it off just a little bit to the right. I want to make a banner, but I also want to tuck this in behind my label. All right. So just take our snips now. Okay. I have ink on my hand. I'm getting it everywhere. Okay. Let's go ahead and just make our little angle cuts here. Okay, I didn't cut that quite enough. There we go. All right. Now we're going to stamp our little, I like to refer to him as our little juggling critter here. Now, don't mind mine. I don't know what I did to my label. I totally trashed it. I don't know what I did. I got to try and recut that. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our Memento Black. And I'm going to just kind of put him off balance. Like he's trying to juggle, but he lost his balance. And we're going to color him in Cajun Craze. This time I'm going to leave a little bit of a white tail here. So I'm just going to make this a little jagged. And then this is my, oops, that's dark. I want to start with my light. Oh well. We'll just start with the dark since we're right here. And we'll go ahead. Kind of just go around the outline here. Okay, I know I have to concentrate when I color, sorry. Alright, so there we go, and then we'll grab our light Cajun Craze and we'll continue to kind of fill in. So while this is the most time-consuming part of these projects, it is kind of actually the best part of the project, so you can be as creative as you want. Again, try out some different colors and then share with us in our group. We'd love to see what you're doing with this. Okay, isn't he cute? I mean, he's so easy to color. I'm going to grab my dark Poppy Parade here. And we'll grab our light Old Olive. Oops, I forgot an apple. Apple. And then I am going to give him a little bit of ground. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Because, you know, we want to make it look like he's kind of just off balance. There we go. Okay. All right. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this and dimensionals on the back of this. Before I actually put the dimensionals on, what I really want to do is I want to just put a little bit of adhesive right on the end of my banner here. And I want to lay this where I'd like to have it. Now I can put my dimensionals on, and both pieces I can have kind of set up at the same time. So I'm just using my scraps here. Got a bunch left, so I might as well just use it up, right? I actually met one person that's like, yep, I don't ever use my outside edges. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like the best part when you're doing labels or a thin strip. All right. So we'll put this right on the front, just like this. I want it to hang off the edge there. And I don't want my hexagon a little straighter. Hold on. Uh-oh. Stay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take some of our linen thread again. Tie another little bow. So pretty much we're making 5 bows out of a yard of linen thread. So just keep that in mind when you're tying your bows on how large you make them. All right, this one I am going to make a little bit larger. Not that big, but larger. Because I want this bow to kind of hang out from behind here. So I'm going to take my glue dot and I'm going to roll it up here. Where did I just put my glue dots? Okay. And I'm going to actually take my scissors this time. And I'm going to tuck this right underneath. Right underneath there. Okay, I'll put my knot down there. Oops, that didn't go quite underneath. I wanted that to be underneath my hexagon tag here. All right, just like that, okay? Just so it sticks out a little bit. All right, I'm going to add more embellishments. We'll do a black here. What is going on with my putty? Might have to get a replacement. All right. Two, and I need one more. I like to do odd numbers. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get to the inside of our card. So we have a little juggling guy there. And I'm simply going to say, you can do it. So I'm going to stamp, you can do it, off to the side, just like so. Oh, that didn't work out very well, did it? Okay, you can do it. And we're going to go ahead. We're just going to do, you can do it. If you want to go ahead and add a little critter in there, feel free. Be as creative as you want. These are your cards. You can do whatever you want with them. Okay. There we go. So that was our card number 3. All right. Okay, card number 4. This is a really cute one too. I think all these cards turned out really cute. They're pretty adorable. All right, so this one is Keep Going. But look at the fun we're going to have with our designer series paper. This is actually the post office or the mailbox holder from Sending Love. Just kind of using some of our different products just to do something fun. But don't worry, this is all die cut for you. So let's pull out all of our pieces in envelope number 4. So we have our Mossy Meadow here. Let's go ahead and just fold that right in half. All right. We have a piece of corrugated basic white. Again, we're going to go ahead and use our liquid glue and put that right on the card front. Oh, not yet. I almost did it again. So we've got this piece here, right? We want to put our tree on there, but we want to have it trimmed off on the edge a little bit. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to just kind of look where I want this. That looks about a good spot. I'm going to take my liquid glue. Okay, so we're just going to add our liquid glue over here. Right. Like I said, I just want to trim down a little bit of it, not a whole lot. So I'm going to have this on there. Smoosh that glue around. Trim off my excess here. All right, and now I can adhere this to my card front. All right. And we're going to take our tree base here. Well, we're calling it a tree base, but it's the mailbox stand. But it still works great for a tree. All right, I'm going to put that there. Okay, we've got a hexagon shape, we've got another rectangle, and we've got a piece of basic white for the inside of our card. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the inside right now. Not sure what I'm going to stamp on there, so we'll just put that right inside. Now, and all this too, you can stamp your envelopes, you know, however you want. I have ink everywhere on my hands. I think I'm going to have to go wash my hands soon. All right, so now we're going to take one of the other little guys we haven't used yet. Okay. Here we go. Isn't he cute? He's reaching for all those apples that keep falling from the tree. So we're going to stamp that right on our hexagon shape here. I'm going to stamp it at a little bit of an angle. We'll color him in. All right. While I have this out, I might as well just go ahead and do this other piece too. So I'm going to, on my little, where did it go? Here it is. On this strip here, I want to have an apple at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to get my apple inked up and nothing else. Oh, I got his hand. Darn. Okay. Okay, now I got the apple. All right, I'm just going to put the apple right over there. All right. I'm going to take my sentiment that says keep going. And we're going to stamp that right on the front of that rectangle. Let's go ahead and start coloring with our blends. I'm going to add again a little bit of ground here. I feel like using my light. So I'm just going to kind of that little shadow. All right. And we'll color the little leaves on all our apples here. We're going to color him in Cajun Craze. This time I'm going to color the whole little guy in Cajun Craze. So I guess this would be the red panda. I don't know how that one's colored, but you could leave a little bit of white for the tail to be a fox. I'm just adding a little bit, following along the, oh my gosh, following along the lines that the artist has provided us. All right. And you know what, I want to kind of, yeah, we're just leaving like that. All right, we're going to go ahead and color our apples. You know, play around with your coloring too. You know, stamp on a scrap piece of paper, color it, see how you like it. Okay, we're going to put this right there on dimensionals, and I'm going to just have it turn just a little bit here. Sorry, all my stuff is kind of all over the place now. All right. Pile of dimensional backings over there. All right, so just put this right down here. Let's color our apple in our sentiment here. Pop that up in dimensionals. Put that right at the top of the tree. Take a little bit of our linen thread, make a bow. On our last card, we won't be using any linen thread, so you don't have to worry about it. I want this bow to be just a little bit bigger. Okay. Trim our little tail off here. Grab our mini glue dot. I mean, you could use liquid glue too for the bows. It just takes a lot longer to dry, and I'm not patient enough for that. So I like to use that. Now, just need a little something extra. So what I did is I brought back in my little dots here. I grabbed my dark Poppy Parade, and I just colored. You can do the white, you can do the beige. It doesn't matter which ones you use. All right. So let that dry for a second or two. Trying to see if I can get my putty knife to come back to life here. All right. All right, so now we're just going to add our apples around our tree. There we go, just like that. All right, one card left. Let's check out what it looks like. All right, let's put this one back in its home. And our last but not least card is this one here. So we're going to be coloring a little raccoon. What I'm going to do on the video here is I'm going to stamp them, and then I'm going to color one in. I'll color this middle one in so you can see how I colored it. I'll stop the video and then I'll just finish coloring the other ones. That way you don't have to watch me for so long. Okay, so let's get going on what we have in our card pack here. Well, here's our third and final card of our Rusty Resource class. The first thing we have here is our Cajun Craze card base. I'm going to bring in a scrap paper, and we are going to stamp that plaid using our Cajun Craze ink. And we're just going to stamp the two corners of our card base. We'll just come down there. Next step we'll do is we're going to tear this piece of Designer Series paper in half. Just finish tearing it here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just tear it. And then we're going to be layering it on the left side of our card base. Just use some adhesive here. And have your ripped edge facing the outside here. Just like that. We're going to bring in our one piece of our basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp our three little critters. So we're going to start with our middle critter here. Actually, I'm going to start with the top critter, I think. These are the ones that are going to be raccoons. So I'm just going to stamp this one right here. I'm going to clean my stamps as we go here. Get my other stamp clean. Then we have our middle critter. And then we have our final one. Just like that. We'll go ahead and add a little bit of ground underneath each one of them, so they're not floating out in space there. All right. And we'll do that by using our old olive here. So just coloring it a little bit underneath. Okay, and I'll do that for each one. And then right underneath this little guy here. All right. There we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and grab our little apple leaves right here right away. Since we're already using our blend, might as well get those done. Grab our dark, oh, that should have been dark, sorry, I goofed up. So I want my leaves to be the dark old olive, and then my apples themselves will be our green, our light old olive. Get all these colored. Okay, just take your, take your time coloring, have fun. All right. Now I'll go ahead and show you one of the little critters here in using our basic black. I'm sorry, is that basic black? No, that's smoky slate. All right, so we're gonna do our light smoky slate, and we're going to be coloring our critter completely in smoky slate. I'm going to actually switch over to using this one. And we'll color the whole thing. And we'll go through each one of those and color those all in. Okay. Then when we come back, we'll take our dark smoky slate and we'll kind of give his tail some little jagged. Okay. And then we'll go around just kind of the lines that the artist gave us. And then right around the eyes, we're gonna get them right here, just like that. All right, so then he'll have that little bandit look for each one of them. All right. Right. Then again with the tail, come back in with this one and get this tail. You can definitely do this with basic black as well. I just happen to be using this one. Outlining him a little bit. All right, then we're going to come back in with our light, color him in. He's actually colored pretty fast. And I started with that dark so that I could just easily blend it all in when I came back in with the light. I like using the brush end when I'm covering a larger area. I use a chisel end when I want to be more detailed. When I first start using these, our brush end could be used to do some of the detail, but after a while, it kind of breaks down a little bit. Okay, so those are our little guys there. We'll bring back in our card base. We're going to go ahead and adhere this using our dimensionals. If I can find where I put them. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. Pull those off. This one's probably the fastest of all five cards. Then I'm just going to slightly overlap that torn piece of cardstock. There are the torn edges there. Now, with the other piece that I still have, we're going to be using this to kind of like accentuate our sentiments. So I have my strip of basic white here, And I'm going to bring in my Cajun Craze, and we're going to stamp You Can Do It, and where's my other sentiment? You Can Do It and Keep Going. So here we go, our first one, Keep Going. And we'll get that cleaned, and then we'll do our next one. And You Can Do It. I'm stamping on opposite ends just in case I need to flip it over or re-stamp it. I want that lined up a little bit better. We'll take our snips and we'll trim them down. We're going to add some adhesive to the back of our little sentiments here. And they're kind of small little areas, so just make sure you get both sides. We'll take our opposite side of our Designer Series paper and just put that right underneath. And we'll snip that one off. We'll get this other one, which is stuck to my finger. And we'll do the same thing right over here. And we'll snip that one off. Okay, then we're just going to go ahead and put them right on the front of our card. And just kind of look where you can fit your sentiment to fit on there. So my original one, I had a little bit more room, and this one I just put a little higher. So that is our final card for our Resourceful Rusty class. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is available through March 18th. You will need to contact me to be able to get to the registration, as I can't post it on social media. And I hope you enjoyed this. And those of you that have already ordered the class, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your stamp set, and I'd love to see what you make with your cards. All right, have a great day.